Fáilte go dtí ceach seo, welcome to this lesson. This lesson is especially for our newsletter subscribers. So if you are watching this later on YouTube, then make sure to subscribe to that newsletter. Then on we go. We're going to look at how to answer how are you in Irish like a native speaker. Like a native speaker in every language, there are different natural ways to say it. But at school, you probably just learned how to say like Tá mé go maith, I am good. So today we're going to look at different ways to answer how are you in Irish so that you can be more fluent, more natural and speak like a native speaker. But firstly, we'll look at the 3 different ways to actually ask how are you in Irish, depending on which dialect you're speaking or somebody else is speaking. So the first one, like we've mentioned in our title, is Conas a Tortu or Conas a Tortu, which is most common in Munster, used in Munster, and also probably what you would have learned in school because it's used in the standard Irish that we learn at school, especially if you didn't have a teacher that was from a particular Gaeltacht. And then in Connacht, they use Cén Chuí or Wiltu, or Cén Chuí Wiltu when you hear it fast, Cén Chuí Wiltu. And then in Ulster, they use Cujé Mar Tortu, Cujé Mar Tortu, Cujé Mar Tortu. So those are the 3 different ways, but don't worry, you don't need to know all of these. Just be able to recognize them if you hear somebody say them, and just stick to whichever one you already know or you feel comfortable with. Conas a Tortu might be easier for most people, especially if you've never studied Irish before, you're a beginner, or else that's what you learned at school. So Rylin, on we go to some different responses that you can use to Conas a Tortu in Irish like a native speaker. Some of these we've looked at last week, but we've got some extra ones as well. So I'm not too bad. I really like this one because it's very natural, very smooth. I'm not too bad is Níl mé rochana. Níl mé rochana. I'm not too bad. Níl mé rochana. Níl mé is I'm not. Ro is too, like too much. To, and then donna is bad. When it comes together, but ro, we get a shevu. So níl mé ro chuna, I'm not too bad. I'm grand is a nice one as well. We use this a lot in English. Tá mé tau. Tá mé tau. And then in some dialects you hear the A at the end. Tá mé taua. Tá mé taua. Tá mé tau. I'm grand. However, you don't even have to start with Tá mé if you don't want to. So it's quite natural for people to say, if someone says Conas a Tortu, you say, oh, go bra, I'm fine. Or tau, I'm grand. So you don't even need to use the Tá mé if you don't want to. Go bra, tau, go ma, intoch. All perfect to say as a response. And of course, it's always polite to ask someone how they are back. So how do you do that in Irish without just saying Conas a Tortu again? So agus tú hain is and yourself, agus tú hain. So if they say Conas a Tortu, you say oh tá mé tau agus tú hain and yourself. Agus tú féin or agus tú hain. Some people like to put a shevu in here when they're speaking, so that makes it hain or otherwise féin. Agus tú féin or agus tú hain. Now, céard futsa is what about yourself, céard futsa. The sa at the end just adds emphasis. In English, we do that with our voice. We say, and you, but in Irish, we actually add in sa at the end. So, céard futsa, what about yourself? Céard futsa. Now, this can also be cad futsa, if you were in the Munster dialect, cad or cujé in Ulster. And then I really, really like this one. It's a little bit longer, but it's very, very natural, used by native speakers all the time, especially in the Gaeltacht that I lived in Galway. Conas atá rudaí. How are things? Conas atá rudaí, latsa, with you. And again, we have our sa as emphasis here. Conas atá rudaí, latsa, how are things with you? Or Conas atá cuasaí leat. Now, cuasaí means the same thing like things. How are things with you? But cuasaí obviously literally means courses. Conas atá rudaí leatsa or Conas atá cuasaí leatsa. Now, if you don't want to add the emphasis, you can leave that out. You can say Conas atá cuasaí leat. How are things with you? In Connacht, they use Cén Chuí, like we've seen. So that would be Cén Chuí a bhfuil rudaí leatsa. Cén Chuí will cuasaí leatsa. So after Cén Chuí, we have a will, like Cén Chuí a will too. So sinné, nice and simple, but maybe a few that you didn't know or you haven't used that. Of course, Tá mé go maith is used as well, but just like a native speaker of any language, we now have more options to sound natural and express yourself just a little bit more. If you're interested in learning Irish, this year we have Rusty to Fluent opening up and we have Irish for Beginners opening up really, really soon. Both of those waitlists are open and both of them are only launching to waitlists. So the special launch price that you get will be for those people on the wait list. So pop onto the wait list. Also, make sure you subscribe to Gael School Online as well. You can go to gaelschoolonline.com, or you can click any of the links below. We specialise in Irish for parents, but this year we're branching out and bringing Irish to everybody, because we specialise in making Irish actually easy and teaching you Irish that you could actually use every day as well. Slán go fóill gur míle maith. Bye for now, and thank you so much.